Welcome. We are doing a special live stream on this evening. Talk some buyers, getting some buyer leads. Now, we're going to give it a couple of seconds to make sure that the live stream is working. As you're coming in, let me know where you're listening from, and also if the audio is coming through okay. Sometimes we get some feedback, and that's less than ideal. So just let me know if things are working as they should be. Looks like we are good to go here. So I hope that's the case. All right, so cool. All right, so we're talking some buyer leads in real estate. What does that look like? What's that gonna do for your business? Now, oftentimes we kind of look down on buyer leads, and I understand the whole notion of why that why they are so looked down upon, if you will, because there's a lot of work that goes with being a buyer's agent in showing different properties, qualifying buyers, working, talking a bit of financing, going door to door, using a lot of your time to show properties. It could be one property, it could be 5 properties, it could be 50 properties, especially now as it's a seller's market where there's a lot of leverage that sellers have. Can be a bit frustrating getting somebody into a home. So I understand the desire to be on the listing side. And that is an absolute incredible goal for every single real estate agent to have, but that's not a reality, as most agents starting out don't necessarily have that ability of generating listings. So here's one thing that I want to encourage you to consider. And if you think of it this way, when we're looking at buyer leads, it's going to start clicking. And it was something that is often overlooked. Even though you're targeting buyers, whether that's with the strategies that you're going to see today or any other strategies that are going to bring you a bulk of buyers, even if you're targeting buyers, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're only going to work with buyers. That just happens to be a way that you bring clients to you and you start working with them. But something that we forget is that those buyers do have homes to sell as well. Not all of them, of course, but there's a good amount of those buyers that have a home that they have to sell or turn into a rental of some kind before they can go and purchase again. So while you may find the client seeking a property, that's how you actually secure that client. That's how you start working with that client. It doesn't mean that they're only buyers. In fact, if you think of it that way, where you're targeting buyers with the expectation that there will be sellers somewhere along the road, well, now you're looking at 2 transactions. Now you're looking at securing a buyer and you're securing a listing. So again, that holy grail of real estate being on the listing side. Does that make sense? So let me know in the comment section where you're listening from on this live stream this evening. I want to hear from you, and if you have any questions, please feel free to drop them in the chat. Now, let's get into the meat and potatoes of our video today. Buyers. That's what we're securing today, and I'm going to give you some strategies that will ultimately secure you a ton of buyer leads. And again, going to the reason why this video was even created in the first place, to target buyers, but also with the realization that when you work with buyers, oftentimes they have a home to sell as well. So there you're actually getting 2 clients for the price of one. In all intents and purposes, it's actually cheaper to get a buyer lead than a seller lead. That's pretty cool. All right, so let's go into it. One of the first strategies that I want to share with you on the easiest way to get a buyer is work with those companies that are amassing those buyers at scale. What I mean by that is pay at closing referral companies. So these types of companies, and quick shout out to Lab Coat Agents. Tristan was a person that created this graphic here. So I want to give him a huge shout out. If you're not following Tristan from Lab Coat Agents, you're doing yourself and your real estate career a huge disservice. But check this out. There are a lot, and I mean a ton, of pay at closing referral companies. So you have HomeLight, you have Redfin, UpNest, Clever, OpCity, which is really one of the most commonly known ones. There's a lot of pay at closing referral companies, and primarily these companies are referral-based company. I'm sorry, not referral based. They are referral based, but they are buyer heavy. There's a lot of buyer leads that reach out to these companies, or they think they don't necessarily reach out to these companies by name. It's just that these companies are the back end of many of the front-facing B2C business to client, so home buyers that are looking out there. So these just happen to be that back engine that sells us leads, in other words, right? So there's a lot of front-facing consumer portals that these technology companies are really good at targeting and marketing to get a ton of traffic to their sites. And once people are pulled through want to work with the real estate agent, they're selling us the leads. Now, me having done a version of this for my agency when I had it open to the public, now I've closed it just to work with my real estate agents at the Agent First group. So if you're interested in that, let me know down below, see how you can get some free leads. But when it comes to that type of model, these companies that you saw on the screen, let me share it to you one more time. These companies, these pay at closing companies, they're paying based off of a referral base, meaning when a transaction closes. Oftentimes, early on in marketing, they were charging per lead. Now, there are still companies out there that will charge you per lead. So you're going out and purchasing a zip code, you're going out and purchasing a territory, and you get all the leads, and you pay either a monthly flat fee, or you pay for per lead. Those were the models before. Now there's a lot more models that will allow you to work with the lead yourself, convert the lead, and pay a referral commission. So it's no different if you had a lot of real estate agent friends out there that would give you referrals. Somebody from California is surely sending a lot of referral fees over to Texas at the moment, Florida at the moment, New York to Florida as well. So it's no different than that, but these are great places to get some business and some quick business, because for all intents and purposes, these referral-based companies, they'll accept just about every real estate agent because they need coverage. They need coverage, and they'll allow it's almost like that Uber model, right? They'll let everybody on as that wants to be a part of it, and then quickly, based off of ratings, based off of usage, based off of dependency, the drivers, aka the agents that are going to succeed, they ultimately rise to the top. They ultimately become the preferred folks, and then the others just can't make a decent enough living to stay in the business. So very much the same thing here. These referral-based companies, they work if there's coverage everywhere. So if they can tap into as many agents as possible that will actually use their services, then they have a very powerful engine. So all they have to worry about is get as many people in through the system as possible, and then triage the leads going forward. So I worked with a really, I would say, up and coming YouTuber out there that's within a year he got 2 million views on his YouTube channel that started from scratch, and this year he's going to get over 5 million views, which is astronomical. So working with him on a nationwide referral-based system as well. No different than that. No different than what you saw on the screen from the referral-based company. So from an agent perspective, what's the quickest way for me to tap into some buyer leads? Go to these companies and get signed up. So I'll flash it one more time, and then we can move on to the next strategy. But these are the pay at closing referral companies, because if you're looking for leads, quick leads, and may not have the capital or wish to not spend too much on leads themselves, almost like a prove it to me model. I don't want to work with leads that are garbage. No agent wants to do that. But at the same time, these pay at closing referral companies, those are a great avenue for you to get started. So hopefully you had enough time to write those down, or just watch this and then at a future date and get the list there. So this is a good way for you to start getting business as quickly as possible. Now, it's important to note that when you're working with these companies, you are obligated to give a portion of the closing, aka a referral, to these companies. It's very important for you to know that. So that's the whole premise. You're not going to get these for free. If that's just not a thing. So just know that you have the opportunity to work with the actual leads and try to close them. But once it's time to pay up, you need to pay up, right? So just make sure that that's very clear from that standpoint. So that's one of the first ways that you can actually generate business and get buyer leads quickly, regardless if you just entered into the industry today or have been in the industry for 10 years. All right, so any questions on that? Has anybody had experience with these types of leads? The Home Lights of the world, the Opcities of the world. I'll throw these up one more time. I keep saying that, but we got to keep going. These types of pay at closing referral companies, is there any of them that are missing? Let me know in the chat. I can absolutely update this so we can, so we can check that out later. Alrighty. All right, so your pay at close companies, that's number one. Number two is tried and true, it's Facebook. Facebook is a phenomenal way for you to generate business. So if you're of the mindset that, hey, Facebook is dead, it's for old people. Well, yes, it is, but generally old people have some money, right? Generally, it's those people that have enough saved to purchase. Generally, it's those people that have a home that they could sell and purchase another, right? So we saw that the prices have actually absolutely skyrocketed. Well, it'll take a little bit of time for somebody that's getting just started into their career to have enough money to purchase something like that, especially with the loans that they have to get into, whether it's an FHA loan or a loan that they can't really put too much money down. So they're competing against cash buyers in this market right now. So that's, you see the prices keep going up. So when it comes to Facebook, there's many different avenues for you to generate leads through Facebook. Number one is your personal profile. Complete your personal profile to the best of your abilities. That is huge. If you're a secret agent, that's not going to cut it. No, if somebody goes to your Facebook right now and cannot tell that you're in real estate, you're in trouble. I know it sounds elementary, but really sometimes we have to come down to the basics and not be so enamored with all these ads and, oh, I can get a lead for $1. Sure, you could. It's very simple to do. Very simple to do. If you wanna get leads for $1, just use my software company called Agently, agently.com. So agently.com, and I'll link it down below. You'll get leads for $1 there all day long, all day long. And I say this very openly because one, it works, but two, the lead has not been the issue. You can get these leads all day long, but it's the conversion. So that's when you have to step up and you have to call, you have to email, you have to text, you have to do the follow-up, right? So understand that with these advertising campaigns, although they're effective at giving you a name, giving you an email, giving you a phone number, which is everything that Agently does. And even if you were to go into your Facebook profile right now, go to your ads manager and watch one of my videos where I give you the ad copy, you could do that right now. You could generate these leads all day long, but it's that conversion. So anyway, understanding that first, you need to fill out your profile. I don't want to get too far off the topic, but one, complete your profile. Don't be a secret agent. And then two, start building a community. Create engagement around your personal profile. Don't worry about the business page. I've given up on trying to build a business page. The business page is there for one reason, to run ads. That's it. You are the business. So you start posting on your personal profile. Oftentimes I get this question, well, Jaime, what's the correct way to post? Well, the correct way to post is, number one, to post. But two, build your community as an individual. So many of you are far, far, far away from having the maxed out 5,000 friends on Facebook. So there's a lot of people that you can build community with. There's a lot of people that you can delete. There's actually software here that'll that will actually automate that deletion for you. If those people that have never engaged with your comment, that are absolutely dead to you, that have deleted profiles, there's software out there that will clear out that junk so you can make room for new friends. So you're posting, again, have a complete profile. Two, start posting on your personal profile content that engages, content that will bring conversations to you. Is this making sense? So number one, complete your profile. Number two, start posting organically on your page. But think about it this way, that Facebook, that strategy, that's just around your neck of the woods. That's that's business that you earned, if you will. That's friendships that you earned. That you earned that through sweat equity, either by speaking with them, reaching out to them, building community, whatever. See, that's your little corner of the internet on Facebook. How you tap into a larger corner of the internet on Facebook is through two vehicles: Marketplace and Facebook groups. All right? So let me know in the comment section if that's making sense. Your corner of the internet is your personal profile, and to a certain extent your business profile, but we've done away with that. The only reason we have a business profile is to run ads. So from a personal profile perspective, we can only have the reach that either somebody specifically searches our name and finds us there, or the people that are actually already friends with us or follow us. That's the only chance that we have that our content's going to get out there. That's an audience that we have worked hard to get. How we play in a bigger pond on Facebook is by posting on Marketplace, so posting properties that are for sale on Marketplace and bring in new people, because there's a lot of people on Facebook Marketplace looking to buy homes. So why Facebook has spent so much time updating that, has spent so much time trying to clean that up so there's no bots there, although they're never going to get rid of bots altogether, but they're investing a lot of time to where ultimately Craigslist will go away forever and for always. Not yet. It's still a top 20 website in the United States, but it will eventually go away and Facebook Marketplace is going to take over, or Meta. So let's start using Meta, because I try to get up with the time. So let's use Meta moving forward. I know I kept saying Facebook, but when it comes to Meta Marketplace, that's where a lot of people go to buy and sell. In this case, how you tap into that is by you posting properties on Marketplace, so you can reach a larger pond, a larger pool of people that can ultimately work with you. I'll give you an example. There's a wholesale deal. Well, not necessarily a wholesale deal. It was a listing that really was going to be a teardown in an area that is very hot here in Dallas-Fort Worth. Sold a property cash price, and in that market, it was basically for the lot, and it went for $280 or so. $280,000. Now they built like two, I don't know how they did it, but they built like two apartment complexes just within that little eighth of an acre. That's incredible what they did with that. But it's through Marketplace. It didn't come from Facebook. It didn't come from the MLS. It didn't come from Zillow. It didn't come from Realtor. That property was sold on Marketplace, and we got a ton of other clients from that as well. Right now, again, that's how you tap into the larger community. And even larger community per se would be tapping into Facebook groups. There's some users that only go to Facebook groups to build community. There's some users out there that will never go to Marketplace, but will live in Facebook groups all day long. Well, that's a mom's group, whether that's a real estate group, whether that's a geography-based group, meaning like Dallas, Texas, meaning Fort Worth, Texas. Basically, the groups are various, but just think of two categories. One is interest-based. I'm interested in knitting, so I'm going to join the real estate group. I'm interested in real estate, in being a real estate agent, so I'm going to go to the prep agent group. I'm interested in, bettering myself and want to be around like-minded individuals, so I'm going to go to the real estate agent Facebook group. So that's interest-based. And then there's also geographic-based, or geography-based, meaning I want to be in this group because I actually am interested in this, either I live or I'm interested in this geography or this community. So whether that's think of it like a homeowners association for Facebook. So the Texas group, the Everything About Arlington, Texas group, the Everything About Dallas group. There's a lot of groups out there that you can tap into, and either you're posting content that will get people to reach out to you, you're out there solving problems in a much bigger pond, very similar problems that you would answer or solve in your personal page, except now when you're posting on those groups, more eyes are on you. So you could do it that way, or you could just pay for that exposure. There's a lot of Facebook groups out there, or meta groups, keep going back to Facebook, meta groups that will actually sell you sponsorship, meaning you could pay $100 to post 4 times a month, as an example. Is it worth it to you to have that exposure? In some of these groups, absolutely yes. Some of these groups are absolutely massive and have absolutely huge engagement. So I would gladly pay $100 to be able to post 4 times a month. I would much rather do that than post and pay $100 and try to risk it on, let's say, if I had no idea how to do it, then risk it on Google Ads. Thankfully, I do know how to do Google Ads, so that's not an issue. But do you see the point? It's easier for me to just get that instant exposure than pay it for in a platform that I have no knowledge about. All right, so we talked about completing our profile. We talked about posting for natural engagement or organic engagement in our personal page. We talked about Meta Marketplace, and we talked about Meta Groups, and we have to touch on it, the Facebook ads. Facebook ads is still by far and away the quickest, simplest, most not ineffective, the most inexpensive way to generate leads, especially buyer leads. As I mentioned, if you go to agently.com, sign up right now, you get the freemium version where you get to try out these ads and connect it to your Facebook account, and within 2 clicks you're off and running some ads that will get you leads for $1. No exaggeration, because a lot of my ad copies are actually already in Agently, so hint hint. But you could go and run those types of ads very inexpensively, very quickly with 2 clicks. You just connect your ad account and then you select which campaign you want, and you're off to run, and you're off to the races. But anyway, most important thing here is understanding that that's that 5th way to generate leads through buyer leads through Facebook, and that's Facebook ads. All right. Oh, Jerome, you're here. What's up? Hey. Digital real estate strategy. Go check out his YouTube channel. It's a great strategy, and every once in a while I make an appearance, which kind of diminishes his brand, but that's his I get invited, so I appreciate you, Jerome. Love your videos on new construction Facebook ads. Any changes with the time since recording? I don't let's see. It's not gonna matter who made that comment, but I appreciate you being here. In terms of the answer is going to be the same. It does matter who it is, because I appreciate you being here. Let me find out who made that comment, because I like to address my community by name. Zach, thanks so much. Zach Vines in the house. I appreciate you. No, it's basically the same. The new construction. So what Zach is referring to is I have several videos out there where I teach you the exact new construction ad to run. I have an agent in California, Los Angeles, where he's running new construction ads, and he is so on top of things. I think he's averaging about $2.30 or so for new construction in the Los Angeles market. Fantastic agent, fantastic marketer as well. So he's someone that we got launched and running, and he's just self-sufficient, just making adjustments. Every once in a while we'll circle up and do some slight modifications to the ads, but for all intents and purposes it's already optimized. All right, so we have a little dynamite right here. Who do we have? Brad Bernard, I appreciate you. All right, so that's the second strategy. So number 1, we talked about pay at closing. Let me move this here. Pay at closing. There we go. Pay at closing referral companies. That's the quickest way to get some leads, and you'll pay for that on the referral. Now, the second way is through Facebook, aka Meta. So we talked about completing your profile. We talked about posting engaging comments on your personal profile. We talked about Meta Marketplace. We talked about Meta Groups. And then we also talked about Meta Ads. Those are 5 ways that you can leverage Facebook for your business today. Something, I keep going back to Facebook, Meta for your business today. Now we have to address something a little bit more traditional. There's it's something that is often overlooked, and we don't cover too much on this channel. I'll be fully transparent, because we don't really touch the traditional models too much. I would much rather show you leverageable items or leverageable strategies, but the tried and true You cannot go wrong. If you're looking to get a buyer to work with very, very quickly, for my money, if I was challenged with that, I would go with an open house strategy as well. So that's the third strategy to get some buyer leads. Open houses, you cannot go wrong. If you do an open house effectively, if you secure the right type of property, a property that shows well, that's going to really help you out a ton. If you do some appropriate promotion, letting people know ahead of time, hey, I'm going to be in this property is going to be open to you from 12 to 2, 1 to 3, 2 to 4, whatever the time frame may be. If you do that paired with door knocking the day before, so letting the neighbors know, hey, we're going to be doing open house with your neighbor Becky over here. If you want to partake in our neighborhood hour, it's from 12 to 1. Swing by. It's only open to the neighborhood. So if you were ever interested in what the property looked like from inside, just swing on by. It's just for the neighborhood. It's just for the neighbors, right? So if you do that door knocking ahead of time, call that Friday afternoon. Can't think of a better way to spend a Friday afternoon when it comes to your business, right? So then on Saturday, you do the open house. So if you're looking for a robust open house strategy, I actually have a video in this channel that talks about open houses, but really the person that got me right back onto open houses in terms of going after them full scale and really teaching that in depth was an agent out of the Silicon Valley. His name is Andy. He does 12 million in GCI. Yeah. 12 million in GCI, not sales volume, in GCI, which is insane. This man will do like 10 open houses in a week, and it's incredible. It's just astronomical, the amount of business that he generates, and the way that he's doing it. An open house is with 12 million GCI, you can take a break, but no, he's still going after it. He started his business doing open houses, started his business just being out there in the community and really hosting as many open houses as possible. And to this day, even though he's that extremely successful, he's still out there doing open houses every single weekend. And that's how he gets his buyers. That's how he gets his sellers as well. So it's not dead. A lot of people bash on it. I used to bash on it. Just full disclosure, I wasn't the biggest proponent of open houses, but there's a reason that open houses have one of the highest, if not the highest, conversion rate when we're talking about lead generation strategies, because think about who shows up to open houses. People that are invested enough to go take part of their Saturday or part of their Sunday to a property that they know is for sale, and they're actually taking interest. They may not be pre-qualified. Let's not be delusional. They may not be ready to go that day, that week, that month, but they are at least in the exploratory phase. They have a sense of, hey, this might happen in the near future, so let's just go see what properties look like. It's been a while since we've been on the market, so let's start doing some. Think of it like stretching, right? They start doing a little bit of stretching, doing a little bit of exercise, and then before they actually go to the race of purchasing a home, right? So open house is just just a big precursor to a transaction that'll happen maybe next month, maybe in 60 days, maybe in 90 days, but you at least know that you're in the ballpark, right? So that's something that we can't overlook. So open houses, if you're looking to do this at scale, very simple. Get 2 properties that you want to do open houses for. Get 2 of those properties and do an open house on a Saturday and do another open house on a Sunday for one of those properties. And then do another open house on a Saturday and then another open house on a Sunday for that other property. So from let's just call it from 12 to 2, you're going to do your open house on that one property on a Saturday and then that Sunday. And then same thing with your other property that you secured. There you go from 3 to 5, or just depending on what time of the day it gets dark. You might want to scale it back a little bit. But 3 to 5 is that second property that you're going to take to market. Or do an open house for. Do that on Saturday and then do the same thing on a Sunday. So those are ways that you can now have 4 different events. You're hosting 4 different events, 4 different ways for people that are either actively in the market or going to be in the market at some point in time for them to reach out to you, and then you have a conversation. Cool. So that's what I want to share with you today. These are ways to get some buyer leads. Just a very brief recap. We're looking at pay at closing referral companies. There's a ton of them out there. Do your homework. There's a ton of them that will let you in without minimal experience. So that's amazing. 2, use Meta. Using Meta in various capacities. Number 1, complete your profile. Number 2, post engaging content on your personal profile. Number 3, we're doing the Meta Marketplace. Number 4, Meta Groups. Number 5, Meta Ads. And then the third strategy that we looked at today was open houses. Open houses are not dead. On the contrary, it's still very, very much alive. Use those for your business. If you're looking to generate some buyers, do these strategies. If you're looking to generate some sellers, do these strategies. Don't forget, some of you are hopping on a little bit after we started, but the way that we began our video today is the understanding that only because we're targeting buyers doesn't mean that we're not going to get sellers, because a lot of these buyers do have a home that they need to sell in order to buy. So when you're targeting buyers, number 1, it's going to be much simpler. Number 2, it's going to be cheaper. So now you can target these individuals, you can target these buyers and get 2 deals for 1, because you're going to work with them on the buyer side and you're going to sell the house that they're into. Now, pro tip, somebody brought up new construction a little while ago. If you want to deploy this at scale and you really, really want to backdoor some listings, go after new construction. Go after new construction because there's so many benefits. You get higher commission. You have to do less work, which is amazing. But then you also are working with buyers that are looking to buy new construction, that most of the clientele that is buying new is not a first-time home buyer. They have a home that they're in. So a lot of the people that are purchasing new construction, they have a home to sell. So if you're looking for ways to leverage your business, if you're looking for ways to get listings, you don't have to target listings directly. You can target buyers and backdoor your way into listings. Cool? All right, well, let me know if you have any questions. Drop them down in the chat. Also, I've noticed that